the Deep South 1952, Ruby McCollum survived racial injustice. Our eye is on the weekend this Black History Month as the Michigan Chronicle helps bring the gripping true story to the stage. And here with more is Nate Jacobs and Catara Brae. Thanks a lot for coming in this morning. Really appreciate that.
Thank you.
So, Nate, let's start with you. Give us a little more about what the play is about. We know it's about racial injustice, but kind of fill in some blanks on that.
Well, it's a true life story that happened in Live Oak, Florida, 1952, and I have a theater company in Florida, and a patron brought me to the awareness of this story. And being a native of Florida, I had never heard about it. It's just a phenomenal story about a prominent Black woman who moves to Live Oak with her husband, and they're the wealthiest Black people in 1952 in this city. They meet very prestigious white gentleman who's a doctor. He also is a senator, and they begin to do business and association, and one Sunday morning she walks in his doctor's office and she shoots him and kills him. And the town goes crazy, and eventually the nation. Zora Neale Hurston is hired by the Pittsburgh Courier to go down and find out, first of all, who was this bold to shoot a prominent white man in 1952 and live to tell about it. And then all the intrigue and the mystery begins to come out. They have a child together, and she was pregnant for a second child, both of them married. And the story was taboo, but it began to come out that he was her doctor when she had her children, and a relationship began. And then drug abuse began to
a whole bunch of
give
stuff.
her
Very intriguing.
Drama and intrigue. And so I said, wow, this is a piece of Black history and a brown and black story that needs to be told. And I called my brother, Michael Jacobs, who wrote the book for the show. I did a lot of the music, composing. And we decided to do the story. And I told my brother, I think I want to do a musical. He said, a musical about this? And when it hit the stage at home, it blew this community, both Black and white patrons. They were just like, oh my God, thank you for doing this. I was a little taken aback because there's a lot in this story, okay?
Well, it sounds like a lot, but it's good you're getting such a great reaction.
It's a true story about what happens in our country, and I think it's very, very timely. And so I'm so excited to bring it to Detroit to share this piece of history with the community here. And we got this very talented young woman who
let's
plays
get to Catara right now. You play the lead of character here, Ruby. What's it like when you're an actor and you have to play a real-life character? How much responsibility do you feel on that?
I do feel the weight of the responsibility because in the story, when she was in court, Ruby McCollum was silenced 38 times. And I just feel the need to ensure that she is heard, not just for what this case was, but for her humanity. I believe her humanity was attempted to be snuffed out, and I'm very grateful for an opportunity to try to bring light to her as a person.
And why do you feel it's so important to share a story like this?
Because if you don't talk about these sort of dark things, it gets pretended like it doesn't happen. People's pain, people's difficulties, people's trauma gets snuffed out, and it gets pretended like it never happened and that it didn't matter. And I find it very, very important, very imperative to highlight these sort of things so that we can bring light to it so that it won't happen anymore.
Right.
These injustices should never occur. And hopefully if we can talk about it, if we can bring light to it, we can end it.
Such an important message indeed. Now, if people want to come see it, what are the details? Where do they get tickets? Where do they go?
They can purchase tickets from the music hall. That's where we're performing, this beautiful historic theater downtown Detroit, and calling the box office and making sure they get tickets. But we really want to encourage people to come out. Not only is it entertaining, 21 singers and dancers and actors, orchestra, and the story, okay? The story behind the scandal is what we're telling.
Sounds like such a good one.
Yeah. Yes.
All right, there it is. And we're going to get a little performance a little later on in the show. You don't want to miss that. Catara's going to be doing that, so stick around. Thanks a lot for talking to us this morning. Appreciate
Thank you.
it.
They say a Black woman cannot shoot a white man. That's what they say. But I've always been a fighter, and this is just another battle for me. Only truth can drown out the lies they telling. Then again, it's up to me. I what he did to me was mean, and it just wasn't right. A woman can only take so much, then she's bound to fight back. Since I met the white man who was shot by a black woman, since the moment he stepped into our life, our dreams we had got sucked up in deceits and lies. So remember, my name is Ruby, the black woman who shot the white.